Let's see. Let me share it with different people. Who's talking? Crazy whip. I hope I can fix that. If not, we can extend it. I don't know.
I know how to go back and change. I did without the
Yeah. We got 30 seconds on it. All right, we are live. Me and Mr. Producer is back at it again. So we are at the Righteous Edge. I am your host, Jack Bravo. Today, I want to first thank you guys because we have hit one of our milestones, which is 200 subscribers. I wish we had a yay button. Yay! We hit that. And here's the thing, I want to let people know that even though we're a small channel, we have to be appreciative and thank God for everything that we got. We don't plan on staying small, but you got to remember the people who are the grassroots movement, the people who are the first to actually be behind us in what we do, are the people that I really want to remember because they're doing things and supporting us before we became popular. And so you gotta look back, and when I look back one day, if this channel does grow to where I want it to be, I gotta remember the people who supported me when I was a nobody. And you can't forget those people because they're the ones who really make you who you are. They're with you during the growth. And you can't forget that. I appreciate every single subscriber we have. I hope that we can continue giving you guys some entertainment, some Christian commentary from a masculine perspective. I hope we continue doing that. And I also want to let you guys know that we will be putting the email in the description. So if you guys got any feedback for us, you can send it to us and we will listen. Okay, thank you guys for that. 200 subscribers. Two more than that now, but it's still just that the fact that it happened. You gotta sit back and thank God for that. People I don't even know really care what I have to say. So that's something I don't want to sweep under the rug. I don't care that we're small. We're gonna get there. So the first topic to not waste any more time is we man, I'm wondering exactly how I'm gonna introduce this. We got some haters. We got a hater who responded. A witch. We did a video just last week and we broke down what Witch Talk is. If you guys don't remember, just let me go over quickly for you. Witch Talk is a large group on TikTok that classifies themselves as these spiritual gurus. They're involved in a lot of pagan rituals. They do a lot of crazy videos where the people that we focused on in our video were specific witch talkers that try to combine Christianity and paganism and witch rituals, Wiccan rituals, all types of nonsense, tarot card readings, um, all types of, summoning spirits and talking to ancestors. They tried to combine that with Christianity. And we went through that thoroughly and we disproved what a lot of these witches had to say. We disproved it thoroughly. We gave Bible verses. We gave things you could look up on your own. We showed the Hebrew word of what a lot of these pagan rituals were, how they were spoken about in the Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. We went in depth with this. We even gave some of my philosophy where I talked about what Satan's plan is, how he tries to introduce you to something that sounds simple and sounds innocent at the beginning, but then it flowers into something that's very dark and demonic. And I think he's doing that with these young women. Well, in the midst of that, I went to X and I said, you know what? I'm going to share my video. Look up some people that say have hashtag witch talk, and I'm going to share my video to them. Well, somebody responded, and her name was, what was her name, Mr. Producer? It's some weird snow, something like that.
Her name is
Touch of Snow.
Touch of Snow.
Touch of Snow. Okay, I don't know. Maybe she's talking about cocaine. A touch of that snow, because she didn't say anything that made any sense. She
No,
looked
she
like she was
didn't.
under the influence of something.
Yes.
So Touch of Snow responded. And Mr. Producer, what do you see? That's her profile picture.
yeah.
What do you see there that kind of brings some
Well-
alarm to you?
Well, the fact that she has so many emojis in her name.
She can't.
I-
she speaks in hieroglyphics.
Well, it's also, she says she's the divine feminine.
Divine feminine. Have we not talked about that before
Oh,
in previous
many
videos?
times. Yes.
Who remembers the Katy Perry
Yes.
video where we
Mhm.
broke down how they're trying to push this demonic divine feminine movement, and the whole purpose of it is to flip God's order on its head, to say God has said man is in charge, the woman is to submit to the man, and then the children under her. The divine feminine says God is not a man, it's a female. So therefore, they're flipping the order, much like what was done in the Garden of Eden. Satan always tries to do that. Anything structurally like that God has created, he wants to destroy it and flip it on his head. The divine feminine is all about that, trying to take God and his godship and change it. So she has the divine feminine in there. What else does she have in there?
Oh, let's see. Single mom, keep the faith.
Oh, who could have guessed?
Right. All these hashtags. Hashtag flirty. Hashtag curvy. Hashtag spooky. Hashtag mental health.
Mental health. That's the first accurate thing she said. Hashtag curvy, so fat.
Hashtag
Okay.
philosophy. Hashtag feminine. Hashtag goal digger.
Oh my gosh, dude. These women, dude, they need guidance for real.
Oh, man.
And some people will ask, oh, if you're Christian, because some of the verses we're going to go over today. If you're a Christian, why don't you respond to these people with love? Why don't you have more gentleness and feeling? And this is what I say. First of all, read how Elijah responded to the false prophets of Baal. Read it. He made fun of them. He did not let them get away with the falsehoods they were displaying. While they were cutting themselves and hurting themselves, he laughed at them and he mocked their God. And God obviously agreed with Elijah because he brought fire down from heaven right after that. So for anybody who says, oh, you're being too mean, this is what I want you to do. Stop worshiping niceness. Kindness and niceness are two different things. Everything that is behind Jesus Christ, everything that supports the Bible, truth is in it. So if I say something that is true, you as a Christian should be in agreement of it. Now, yes, you can always try to tone police, and you can always try to say, he should be kinder. But here's the reality. Is what I'm saying true? And if you can't defeat me in the truth, then I don't really care that your feelings are hurt when you're teaching false gospel. You're teaching things that lead people to hell. Forgive me if I'm not so gentle with you. So let's go into what she said, Mr. Producer.
Oh yeah. So
Well, that's kind of.
this is the first thing. Touch of Snow has blocked you. So that was the first thing that she said.
So
Well,
she blocked me.
she blocked you.
Oh no! What will I ever do without a touch of snow in my life? Well, first of all, let's get to why she blocked me,
Yep.
because that's a whole conversation. Is
Here
that
we
the
go.
first one?
Yeah.
Can you read that for us?
Sure. So she wrote, "So you came to my page to drop your video. Kudos, dude. This video was a joke. I do love spells, but not on others. Only self-love rituals."
So she has established there that she does do spells and rituals. So the video does apply to her.
Now she comments on the other witch video. She is one of many, and not all of us agree with her. The same way all 30,000 plus Protestant denominations can't agree on how best to come to God.
Wrong. That's not true. Protestants do agree. We agree on the word of God. And guess what? There's plenty of people who claim to be Christians that are not. There's these woke churches that go around and they give Protestants a bad name. And a lot of Catholics and a lot of Orthodox like to point that out, that there's a Protestant church around here that's waving a rainbow flag. That's not a church. To be a church, you got to be part of the body of Christ. Let's just be for real. To be a church, you have to be part of the body of Christ. You're not part of the body of Christ if you don't believe the truth of God's word. It's very simple. The churches agree with me. They agree with God. They agree with the Bible. There's no when I talk to it's such a dumb point, because I have charismatic friends. I have friends that are Pentecostal. I have friends who are a Lutheran. I have friends who are Orthodox. I have friends who are Catholic. We all agree that the blood of Jesus Christ saves you and the word of God is true. The small things we disagree on, for somebody's finite mind that thinks every different denomination thinks there's a different way to come to God, the things that we disagree on, from Catholic to Baptist, which I'm Baptist. You can even say Reformed Baptist or something like that. The things that we disagree on is how to engage with the sacraments. That's about it. Like, we disagree on how to take communion. Some people would disagree on how important baptism is and the practice and how it should be done. But we don't disagree that baptism is important. We don't disagree that Jesus' blood saves you. We may disagree on the importance of Mary or veneration of the saints, but we don't disagree that those people are saints. We may disagree with the importance of what the church fathers said, but we all agree to respect the church fathers. This is what y'all don't know. People who say, oh, all these different denominations are like different religions. That shows how little you actually know. When I talk to a true Christian, no matter what denomination they're from, they may praise a little different than me, but we still agree that Jesus Christ and his word is true. And I get along with most denominations who can agree with that. And here's another thing for you. If there is a denomination that does not agree that Jesus Christ is God, that his blood is the thing that saves you from sin, death, and hell, then guess what? You're not a Christian anyway. Your denominational name does not matter to me because you're not a Christian. It's other foundational truths, but if you stumped up on denominations, you're far too much of a baby Christian to get into those other things. What did she say? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay. So she went, her last point in this first part was she went lastly Matthew 6:6.
Oh, let's see what she's talking about that she refuted in my video.
So, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Our individual, and so she goes on to say this. Our individual relationship with God is not meant to be unsecured or interrupted by anyone else. If you're working under his authority over you individually and you're turning people towards him,
You're doing your job as a Christian.
What is she talking about? She's talking as if the Bible verse that says you should
Right.
pray alone in your room is encouraging individualism with no accountability. Does she really think that's what Matthew is saying? That because Jesus told you to pray in your room alone and have alone time with God, that he's telling you not to be accountable to other Christians?
Mhm.
Can you really be that stupid?
We got a
What are
comment.
you talking about, young
Right.
lady?
Mhm.
Let's just go to some verses about accountability for you. Since you obviously don't know how to open the Bible for yourself, I'm going to do it for you. And you didn't want to debate, which we was finna get on. You didn't want to do that because you was scared of the smoke. I brought the smoke for you. So let's read the verse,
Yeah.
if we can bring that up. The verses that address accountability in the scriptures and how you are not to be about individualism.
So the first one comes from Galatians. Galatians 6, 1 through 2. Brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. Keep watch on yourself, lest you too be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Now let me ask you this, Mr. Producer. If any one of you is caught in what it says,
Any transgression.
would witchcraft be a transgression?
I would think so, yeah.
And if somebody's claiming to be a Christian caught in witchcraft, what does it say you should do?
Restore him in a spirit of gentleness.
So I'm restoring you. My last video was way more gentle than I'm being now. And because you want to double down, watch the video and still be hard-headed, now I'm being harder on you. I have little tolerance for foolish people when you bring the scriptures to them who claim to be a Christian, say, oh, I'm not going to listen. Okay, well now I'm going to have to use you as an example. The Bible says restore such a one. And you are in transgression right now. So let's continue reading here.
So James 5:16 says this, therefore confess your sins to one another and pray for one another.
Confess them just to yourself in your closet, like Matthew said, right?
No, I don't think so.
Confess them to who? Confess
No.
them to just your priest.
Oh, confess your sins to one another.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it said that. Can you continue reading?
And pray for one another that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person has great power as it is working.
So confess your sins one to another. No more individualism. No more, hey, I can be a Christian all by myself and have church in my house. No. Confess your sins one to another. You can continue reading.
Hebrews 10 goes on to say this in verses 24 to 25. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near.
So this idea that you have your little religion and I have my little religion and they shouldn't touch, like a kid that's eating food who's scared to touch it to something else, that's not true, young lady. You thought you were really making a point with that verse, and you were dead wrong. How about you start reading the full scriptures instead of trying to cherry pick to win an argument? It would do you a lot of good. Let's read the next verse.
So Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 10. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up.
The reason why you can believe this witch talk stuff is because of this verse. Woe to you who try to do stuff on your own. You tried to study the word of God on your own and with no guidance, and you came up with this gobbledygook witch talk nonsense. And now somebody like me has to correct you. You can thank me later. Maybe I should put my Cash App in the description for you. So the next point that she tries to make, can you go to that?
Sure. So the next point that she tries to make.
Oh, we had some more verses.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
We got more for you. You thought we was done?
We brought the receipts.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was
Yep.
finished?
Oh, Ephesians 4. Hang on a minute. Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another.
That's right. We correct each other.
Then Colossians goes even further with it. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom.
Admonishing? That's crazy.
You can't do
We're
that.
supposed to be witches in our house with our altars and be able to worship how we please without anybody saying anything. Isn't that what you just said?
I think that's what you just said.
Whoops. What
Um,
else is
Oh, Romans, for as in one body we have many members, and the members do not all have the same function, so we, though many, are one body in Christ, and individually members one of another.
Doesn't sound like
Hmm.
individualism to me.
Not at all. And in 1 Corinthians 12, 25 and 27, that there may be no division in the body, but that the members may have the same care for one another. If one member suffers, all suffer together. If one member is honored, all rejoice together. Now you are the body of Christ, and individually members of it.
If you are claiming to be a Christian and you want to engage in witchcraft, me and you have a problem. Me and you have a division. I don't think you're a Christian, to be honest. And I'm right in saying that. And I'm right in my judgment. And I'm having righteous judgment on you. I don't believe you are a Christian if you engage in witchcraft. So if you are claiming to be a Christian and you want to say you are part of the same movement I'm a part of, I have a division with you. I have a problem with you. It's up to me to address it. Did you read in Matthew when he says if you have a problem with a Christian, you should bring it to him? It's funny how you skipped that part. Right? So what's her next issue that she brought up?
Oh, her next issue is
We'll
Let me
just get
see
it up
here.
on the screen so you
Yeah,
guys
let
can read
Let
it
me just
along.
find it here. I've got some of these things here.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
There we are.
I found him. There we go. There are also many places in Jeremiah. She brings up Jeremiah. Also, many places in Jeremiah where God calls out the burning of incense and rituals to other gods and the worship to false idols. It's not the rituals he was or is mad about. It's to who
Really?
they were meant to worship and call upon.
What is she talking about? So she's
I don't
saying
know.
the rituals brought up in Jeremiah, for those who don't know, is a book, one of the minor prophet books. And Jeremiah was known as the weeping prophet because what he continually did is tell a hard-headed people about the judgment of God that was coming. And the whole book is filled with him pleading with the people to obey God and talking about the wrath of God that was to come. So just to give you a feeling, so he constantly told the people to tear down their idols and serve God. He constantly compared the people to whores, which where we get a lot of our words where we use on this channel, the word whore. He uses that word several times in the book of Jeremiah. So just like, what are you talking about? She says something else there too.
Yeah, she goes, and as far as the works we were called to, mind you, Christ never mentioned to stop any of these.
What? Did you even? I don't want to skip. I'm not skipping ahead.
All right, so the anointing oil, Exodus 30, to consecrate priests, altar, and sacred objects. Incense, again, Exodus 30, 34 to 36, a symbol of prayer offered on the incense altar. Precious stones, Exodus 28,
Oh my goodness.
on priestly garments to represent the tribes. Candles and lamps, also from Exodus, to give light in the holy place. And then herbs and spices in Exodus 30, part of incense blend for sacred offerings. Then she goes on to say this,
Go ahead.
and don't get me started on David,
Oh my gosh.
the one man after God's own heart who sang the Psalms, her words, not mine, spells and meditations to stay close to God through worship and song.
It's so the reason why I find it so funny is because how can you read the same book I read and miss the point of it so bad? It's like you're trying to miss the point. First of all, did you even watch my video? Did you even watch it? You didn't watch a single lick of the video if you think that I said candles and stones are evil. That was not my point, lady. My point was not to say any use of stones like they did in the priest garments, or any use of candles that they probably lit to keep light is wrong. That's not what I said. Like, what? She made up an argument just to try to act like she got a point up on
Right.
somebody.
Right.
I didn't even say that. Did you watch the video?
Yeah. It's a straw man argument.
Yeah,
She-
it's a
she
very
has no-
strong man.
yeah.
I never once said that owning a candle is evil. I have candles. It's not and I think she's purposely missing it, so I don't want to spend too much time on this, but to act as if I'm saying candles are evil because witches use candles, or me saying stones, having precious stones, are evil because witches use stones. It's not the stones or the candles that's evil. It's the satanic rituals of putting your trust in something other than God. Is that plain enough for you to understand? You can have as many candles as you want. You can have a candle collection. It doesn't make you evil. But if you have a candle and you believe it's doing you some spiritual good outside of what God ordained for himself to be worshiped, that's going to give you some spiritual enlightenment that the Bible never ordained, yes, it is sinful. And not only that, if you're trying to do some ritual, how many verses did we pull up in our video that talked about the dangers of soothsayers, the dangers of trying to talk to ancestors, the dangers of doing all types of rituals that were pagan at the time and still pagan now and still practiced now? You're not doing nothing special. You're not doing nothing new. The Bible clearly talks about it. We broke it down in the Hebrew last week. You didn't watch the video. So let's go to the next point she made.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the next one here.
Oh, wait. Before I
oh,
read that, I have
okay.
to, because I didn't put what I wrote because she
Okay.
blocked me.
Okay. Oh,
so
right.
I couldn't even get
Right.
I was
Right.
trying to get a screenshot of it. But here's the thing. I invited her not only to come onto the show, but to have a formal debate. I said, you know what? If you want, and if you really believe in these things, come have a debate with me. And I told her beforehand, I said, listen, I know that you won't, because people like you, all you do is block people. After they say something and you know you can't prove your point or stand behind your arguments, you're just going to block me. That's what people like her do. And I said, but the invitation is out there. I even gave my email address. And I said, here, you email me. We'll figure out a time where we could debate it. So guess what? The audience, and she has a way bigger audience than me, the audience can figure it out. Figure out who's right. At least God can be glorified in the truth being spread to that audience, even if they don't want to acknowledge it. I invited her to a debate. What did she do? Well, let's read what she says.
So, I'm a reader of my Bible, good servant. I know God and the walk I have with Christ. My life is not meant to be a reflection of anyone but the true God that lives in me and the authority of which he has placed in us who seek him.
That's not God that lives in her, by the way.
Right.
And I say that with full confidence.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, not just the doctrine of people before us who twisted his words for their gain. Then she ends with this: God bless you. I'll pray for you. I hope you have a great day.
Let's read her next thing.
Yep. I don't debate. And yes, I will block you.
This is what I'll be talking about. We are going to read a verse in Proverbs. And I want you guys to, you know what? Can you pull that up, Mr. Producer? It's a Proverbs verse about fleeing or cowardly or something like that. I labeled it something. Let me see if I can find it because it's just too perfect. But it's a verse about being cowardly. If not, then I don't have that. That's fine. We can just continue reading what she wrote. Okay. I'll find it.
Okay. So, I lost. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. And then she continued on and said, for the record, it is biblical to not quarrel.
Ugh, I hate that point.
And then she
because
goes,
it's a terrible point, and that's not what quarreling is. Quarreling is not debating. Quarreling is not trying to find the truth and being passionate about it. Quarreling is when my kids fight over the last cookie when they each had 3 cookies to themselves. It's a stupid fight
Right.
that had no
Mhm.
purpose.
Mhm.
This fight, what I'm doing, talking about paganism, talking about ritualistic dark evil magic that you're trying to usher into Christianity, that's a fight worth having, young lady. That's not a quarrel. Oh, people misuse that's because the
Yep.
Spirit of God is not
Mhm.
in her, so
Right.
she doesn't even understand the verses she's reading. So, anyways, you can continue on.
Sure. Then she says, 2 Timothy 2, and the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone, able to teach, not resentful. Then she ends this by saying, I've given my peace. Go to prayer and seek answers from him and stop poking around at someone faith led. Stop
Oh my
poking
gosh.
around.
I'm just poking around,
You're just
starting
poking around,
problems.
Jack.
Well, this evil Christian man just brought up verses in his video that talk about how you shouldn't engage in satanic rituals. He's just poking around. He shouldn't be engaging in this. He's quarrelsome. I found the verse that I was trying to read. I had it labeled the wicked always flee. But it says, and this is Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. I like that verse because listen, she blocked me because she's scared. She blocked me because she's a coward. She blocked me because she can't make an argument. I'm here. Whenever she's ready, we can go. We could do it in front of 10,000 people, 100,000 people on a channel with millions and millions of views. I am ready today. And here's the problem. These people will block you because their cowardness will not allow them to have to engage with somebody who will prove them wrong. In the same way that they bit Stephen when he was preaching the word of God, is the same way these cowardly people will run away from the truth. What did they do when they killed Stephen before Stephen, the first martyr, was killed? They plugged their ears and they ran at him to bite him. They had to kill him. What type of crazy foolishness is this? Same type of spirit that was in those people is the same type of spirit in her. I see we had a couple comments, Mr. Producer.
Yeah, so we had a recent one. Correction is education, and education is not quarreling.
Absolutely true.
Mhm.
Only a foolish person would say, "You're correcting me about the things I'm doing wrong? You're quarreling with me." What? So you correcting your children? That's quarreling too? Like, come on, man.
Another one here. She's protecting her peace.
Yeah, protecting
Protecting
her peace. Yeah, and here's the thing. What peace? She ain't got the peace that surpasses understanding because she don't know Jesus Christ.
Right.
She talking about she can be a witch.
Yep. The delusion
And a
is
Christian
strong.
and want to come
Yes.
debate me and
Mhm.
give me some Bible verses that are
Right.
completely irrelevant to everything I said.
Right.
She knows nothing.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that in a prideful way. Some people gonna say, you shouldn't call people dumb and stupid and say they know nothing. She knows nothing. You don't sit up here and take God's word and lead people astray. Young women are being led astray by the thousands, if not millions, by these people. And you want to sit up here and tell me I shouldn't challenge it and I shouldn't be passionate about the truth? Shut your mouth and listen. You should pull up a chair and watch The Righteous Edge. We could teach you a thing or two. Did we cover all the things she said?
Let me see. Yeah, she said, I gave my piece. Yep.
Yeah, she gave her
I
peace.
gave my piece. Yeah, that's like the.
Nope, that's all we've got from her there. That's all we
We
got.
had something. I had some. Oh yeah, this is the thing. I wanted to point out a verse that says, "Be ready to give an answer." If you don't have that, yeah, pull that up and you read it for me. This is why we do what we do on this channel. Not only the Ephesians 6 verse, we could bring that up too, but we'll use this one for now.
Yeah, so be ready to give an answer. But in your hearts, honor Christ the Lord
As holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect.
We do things with gentleness and respect. And yes, you know what? And I'll be a little bit honest here. When I get passionate about certain things, I do lack gentleness. It's something I have to work on. It's something that I really, really do have to work on because I'm like, Lord, these people really, really making me angry, you know? But I'll say this, the beginning of the verse is also true. And it says, the reason why, Mr. Producer, want to read that beginning part over for me?
But in your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you.
The reason why we respond and we go in depth the way we did on that video is because we want to give Christians and equip them with the answers in order to survive in this evil, dark world that we live in. There are people right now who really, truly think that they can be witches and Christians. And I want them to see a video like mine and understand God is not happy with this nonsense. With these satanic rituals that they're trying to usher in to Christian young people that may not know, God is not going to be satisfied with that. Not only is he not satisfied, but he's going to judge you for that, for leading people astray, for doing exactly what he told you not to do. The word of God is very clear. We showed you all the verses. So like when somebody says, oh, he's quarreling or he's just attacking people or he's just he's just making fun of people. No, go to the video exposing witch talk and you will see I break it down. And I also said at the very end of the video that this is not just to slander people. This is not just to make you feel bad. This is so these people can look at this video and repent. So they can say, you know what? Maybe this is not right. What was that comment, Mr. Producer?
So I'm not surprised she doesn't debate because debating involves logical arguments.
Yes, and everything she said didn't respond to anything I said. So I'm not super surprised she didn't want to debate. I could kind of tell, and I even had said that. I wish I could bring up that comment that I respond, but I pretty much predicted exactly how she was going to respond. I said she's going to block me, and then the next comment she had, she said, yes, I'm going to block you. So bring up that block picture again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that she had.
Oh, man.
Just to prove to everybody, yes, Touch of Snow has blocked you. What a surprise, right? Cowardly women running away.
Yep.
Talking all this stuff. Know all these Bible verses that she totally used wrong, by the way. But she blocked me. Couldn't stand this small creator like
Nope.
me and Mr. Producer
Not at
having
all.
something against a witch being a Christian. This is the world we live in, y'all. This is the world. You know, I'm the bad guy for saying a witch should not be a Christian.
Got another comment. Maybe she's taking some time to consult with Ha.
She's probably, I don't know what she meant. Maybe she's taking some time to
Consult with someone. Yeah.
Yeah, with somebody.
Mhm.
Maybe she is. Maybe she's consulting
Maybe.
with the spirits.
Could be.
Maybe if she had some spirits on her side.
Talking
And
to
here's
Miss
the thing.
Cleo.
People often have warned other Christians, like, don't go at them. These people will cast spells on you. I am not scared of these idiots. These idiots can't even fathom the power of God behind us. They cannot fathom it. They should be scared. Not me. You can do all the dark rituals and tarot card reading and astral projections you want. You have no power here when we worship the true and living God. Don't ever be scared of these people. They got a lot to say over the internet, but I guarantee you if we was face to face, they would probably start crying and having a mental breakdown because even the demons that assist them fear the God we serve. So don't sit back and be scared of these people. Always combat them. Always stand against darkness. We stand against darkness here. Have no association with the evil works of darkness, but rather expose them. That's what we do. And we're going to continue to do it. And if I had another video to do on Witch Talk, I would drop it again. We're not going to stop. I don't care if all these people come on the channel and hate and downvote it and try to send YouTube all types of, we are still going to do it.
Here we go. I meant maybe she's consulting with Harry Potter before getting back to you. There we go. Harry Potter.
Maybe she consulted with Harry Potter.
There we go.
Harry Potter can't save her. I never liked Harry Potter anyway.
Mr. Potter.
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe is better, and
Way better.
and Lord of the Rings way better. Harry Potter's trash. But that's my wife kind of she kind of like it. Anyways, let's go to our next topic, Mr. Producer. We ain't gonna spend
Okay.
too much time on this
All right.
lady who can't be bothered.
I just want to point out that Treacherous Snow has blocked you.
You know what? I cried myself to sleep that night when she told me that. I just couldn't fathom. Somebody blocked me? Me? Yeah, like, come on, lady. You're going to have to do better than
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to be quicker than that. So, for our next topic, Marvel game bans the word Free Taiwan and Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother. Oh, dear me.
Dear me.
Oh, dear,
dear
me.
me.
I can't even do Winnie the Pooh's voice.
Oh, dear me, Piglet.
Dear me, Piglet.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, bother.
we got this topic because Marvel Rivals is a very popular game. You want to bring up some of that game video?
Yeah, here we go.
So Marvel Rivals is a video game that's like this multiplayer team based shooter. It's kind of like built, I would say, off of Overwatch or games like that. And you pick your character and you work on a team and you try to do things like capture the flag or certain goals of deathmatch, and you do all types of cool things. But the thing about the game is it's gotten really popular. And one of the reasons why it got popular in the first place is because the character designs were pretty cool. Some of the girls was pretty curvy and sexy, and people were looking at it saying, "Oh, this is over sexualization of women and this and that." But if you look at it, if you're gonna go on the over sexualization of women in Marvel, you're gonna have to go over the men too, because the men wear skin tight clothes as well. So it ain't just sexy ladies; it's also like the men are wearing very revealing, muscular, skin tight spandex outfits. But Marvel Rivals, I never really played it, but it is supposed to be a very good game. And part of the reason why it's a very good game is because from what I heard and what I read, it's not really developed in the West. It's developed by Japanese developers, which is better because they don't have a lot of the woke nonsense that we do. Now, what's going on with Marvel Rivals? Did we have an article, Mr. Producer?
Yeah. So
If not, I can just read it.
we've got a couple things here. There was something here about let me just pull this off here. Yeah, there's something here about Marvel game bans the words Free Taiwan and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, read some of that for us.
Players of Marvel Rivals, developed with the Chinese firm NetEase, have accused the company of blocking phrases that are deemed unacceptable in China.
Do you get why they're banning Winnie the Pooh? Well, a lot of people probably know this already, but do you
Yeah.
understand that?
Yeah,
It's because people have been calling the Chinese president Winnie the Pooh because they say he resembles Winnie the Pooh. So what happened is, in video games, people have been making fun of the Chinese president by doing things like just either showing pictures of Winnie the Pooh
yeah.
or saying the word Winnie the Pooh. So this is how controlling China is. They banned the word Winnie the Pooh from being said.
Yeah.
They banned it.
They banned Pooh.
Yeah, they won't let you call the president. Now, they won't let you call the president Winnie the Pooh. Here's the craziest thing that Americans don't consider: how much freedom we actually have in this country.
Yeah.
They can't even make fun of their president by equating him to a made-up Disney character without getting in trouble. They're not allowed to say that, but they are allowed to say a couple of things. So let's continue reading. You can bring up number 2. Okay.
I found it. So 2 goes on to say this. This is more about the game.
Yeah.
So the game was developed by Marvel in conjunction with the Chinese developer NetEase and released in December. However, players have been blocked from typing in words such as Tiananmen Square and Wuhan virus in the chat function. They are met with the warning, text contains inappropriate content.
Now, do you know what Tiananmen Square is?
Yeah.
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 So what happened is, and I watched a documentary on this about a couple years ago, is during a protest in China. This goes to show you too. You need to appreciate what country you live in if it has any monicum of freedom. During a protest in China, the people went to the streets with their picket signs and they were not happy about how the government was treating them. And the Chinese government warned them, y'all better go home. Y'all better go home. And guess what? They didn't go home.
There's that picture of that person standing in front of that tank.
Yeah, so that
Oh,
kind of
man.
happened after the massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened is the Chinese government, they was not playing with their own people. They brought out tanks and machine guns and they gunned their own people down. People will complain when our ICE officers arrest illegal immigrants, they're throwing a fit. But in China, you protested too much and they brought their tanks out and they gunned their own people down. This happened in the 90s. Not too long ago. This ain't like 1881. So when this happened, it's called Tiananmen Square because isn't that where it took place? Like the massacre took place?
I believe so, yes.
And so people now troll China in video games saying, oh, you know, they might say they lose to a Chinese person, or they might just type in Tiananmen Square, which is kind of petty. Like, you know, that's kind of evil because people really died there, y'all. Like, I think it's funny that it's so over the top that people will go that far with a video game, but have some respect, you know, like some people really did die at these things. And it shows how evil the CCP is.
Yeah.
And how little regard they have for human life in their own country. So they did that. And now in Marvel Rivals, you can't even type about that because the government in China will regulate everything down to the smallest word you type. We can continue reading. I don't know where you left off.
Yeah. So other restricted phrases include free Taiwan, free Hong Kong, free Tibet, Taiwan as a country, Taiwan #1, even 1989, the year of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Oh, 1989. So it's right about before the 90s.
Yeah. Chatting about Mao Zedong or the Dalai Lama is also banned.
Why the Dalai Lama? What did they do? Chinese people, man, y'all gotta stop. You gotta stop this evil dictator from just telling y'all can't talk about nothing he don't like. If he don't like cupcakes, he gonna stop people from eating cupcakes. Like, come on, dude. I think we can go. We can go to the next.
Yeah, because poor Winnie the Pooh again.
Winnie the Pooh done got caught up in this crossfire.
This
is a funny picture.
Here we go. So this is where that comparison comes into play here. So popular gamers have posted videos of themselves trying to type in the words. Asmongold, the YouTuber, is allowed to type in the words "Taiwan sucks" and "Taiwan is bad," only to be blocked when trying free Taiwan.
Because China, for those who don't know geopolitics, China and Taiwan are at odds with each other. China wants Taiwan to be back as a part of China. And they don't like that Taiwan is independent of China. So part of their whole political push to their own people is they will demonize anyone in their country, or if they can control it outside of the country, that recognizes Taiwan's independence. This is a big problem to me because it's one thing to push it inside your country, but why should American companies and American video games bow down to that standard? That standard should not be for us, and our government should listen and stand up and say, listen, you guys, y'all want to do that dumb stuff over there and your communist dictatorship, then go do it over there. But when our people, we have free speech over here. We don't care what the CCP has to say about Taiwan. We can say what we want. And that's the danger of, like, people love talking about, liberals act like they love communism until the people that they don't like get in charge of it, and they can't say what they want to say without their whole family being locked up in a concentration camp. And yes, they do that in China. If you listen to some of the people who have came from China, I actually know a couple missionaries who went to China, and I'm not even going to get close to naming them because they're planning on going back. But I've talked to missionaries from China and who have went to China, and they have said you have no idea the amount of how they look at privacy. I remember when I told the story before how I had a friend who was a missionary in China, how he had to hide the fact that he was a missionary and he had to pretend and go under the guise of doing another job. And when he went there, he said, "Oh man, it's really, really cold in this room." Now, he was just alone in the room with his wife, something like a hotel. He said, "It's really, really cold in this room. I wish we had some more blankets." 5 minutes later, they knocked on his door and brought him some more blankets. In the privacy of his home, he was having a conversation. Now, what that lets you know, not only are they listening to you and watching your every move, but they're responding to what you say. So imagine if he would have said, "You know what? The president of China looks like Winnie the Pooh." Maybe some soldiers would have been at his door 5 minutes later. Do y'all get how scary that is? They have no expectation of privacy. They have no constitution. They definitely don't have the First Amendment, and they definitely don't have the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment. Let's not even talking about the rest, because you can't even do the next amendments without 1 and 2. You have to have the freedom of speech, and you have to have a way to protect that freedom of speech. They do not have any of that. The government can come. You guys remember during the cough environment? The government of China was basically locking people in their homes by force. It wasn't that they were just saying, "You better stay here." I saw videos of them. What were they doing? They had the what's that tool called? Where they were like using fire to welding. They were welding people's doors shut. That's insane. So always thank God for whatever situation you come out of, because I
Right.
don't know if that was the last slide on that.
No, so he goes on and he finishes with this. At the end of the video, he added sarcastically, "Marvel Rivals
Is a very interesting game that has no censorship at all and lets people think whatever they want, and that's just the way it is, guys.
This is what I have to say about authoritarian control. By enforcing censorship, even on players in free societies, the CCP demonstrates its readiness to export authoritarian norms. They want to bring their nonsense over here by any means necessary, even if it's video games. They erase history and deny sovereignty. Banning the reference of I'm saying it wrong. Tiananmen Square in the year of 1989, or Free Hong Kong, is a state of censorship at its most insidious. It denies the legitimacy of dissent and suppresses collective memory of political movements. This is part of a broader approach to maintain the narrative control and control national unity under CCP definitions. They have no problem trying to control you by any means necessary, and they're bringing that nonsense through video games here. And people will sit up there and I really like their video games. Dude, this is not Japan, but this is China doing this. And this is why you got to be careful about what you consume. Because people have been saying things, and I used to not think they were crazy, but they're kind of true now. When you buy something from China and has internet access, do you really think that they're not going to watch what you're doing? These people have no regard for your privacy. You got to be careful. fragile leadership, and cult of personality. The fact that Winnie the Pooh is censored due to comparisons with Xi Jinping exposes the regime deeply insecure about mockery or satire aimed at its highest office. Instead of tolerating humor, it bans it, even cartoon references, revealing a surprising fragility in its image management. They can't even allow you to make fun of their leaders. That's a sad world to live in where you can't even poke fun at your leaders. Imagine China seeing what we do to our leaders. Like, I mean, they do know. They don't care. But imagine if China had a Saturday Night Live that makes fun of every president. These people would be locked up. It wouldn't even last. And it goes to show you how crazy it is. The double standard and selective danger, hate speech, and its extreme references like Hitler and ISIS are banned, but statements like Taiwan sucks are allowed. The censorship is not about protecting users, it's about safeguarding state narratives, allowing pro-government anger, but blocking dissent. It's not about blocking all hate. It's not about blocking all things. It's about blocking the things they don't like. And that's why I got a problem with it. If you should be able to say that the president looks like Winnie the Pooh. That's a threat to y'all?
Yeah, if that's your big deal.
That's a big deal? So you saying the president look like Winnie the Pooh, now people loading up guns? That's a threat to China? Winnie the Pooh, come here, little Bobby, blah, blah, blah. And now you're getting shot.
Oh, bother.
You're a dead man. The Chinese can't stand it. You can't even wear a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt there. And that's what they really think. Did we have another one, Mr.
I
Producer?
believe so. We had this one.
What a funny picture.
This is great. So it's like half and half of them now. So George Osborne, an analyst.
An analyst who writes the video games industry memo newsletter said that China had increased censorship of video games in recent years. I think it was something of a blind spot to the Chinese state initially, and then officials realized two things. The first was there was a lot of creative content coming into the market that wasn't going through proper censorship functions.
Oh no!
The second element was that online play in particular was an area where young people would go to congregate and in particular talk, and they would do so outside of the Chinese state. So over the last 4 or 5 years, there was a big ratcheting up of censorship.
Oh, the Chinese just can't have you speaking your mind. What do you think you're doing over there? Making fun of leaders.
Right, you can't do that. On whether Marvel would have signed up for the restrictions applying in the West, he said, I would take a reasonable guess to think that they knew this was going to be an issue for Chinese players and people who are very obviously operating within China, but would not necessarily have realized that a list that's functioning like that so bluntly might also be affecting players in the rest of the world too.
What do you think about that, Mr. Producer?
You know, companies and creators are chasing China as a market.
Yeah.
And
They
go in there with their eyes wide open. They know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They know what's going to happen. And sometimes, and I know Marvel is big with this, that a lot of their movies are tailored to the Chinese market.
Yeah. I was going to speak on that.
Mhm. So they know full well going into this what they're getting themselves into.
Isn't it funny to me that liberal Hollywood will bow down to communist China? And what they did, remember, one of the things that Disney did recently, that if you're a liberal and you really believe this DEI goofy gay stuff, why in the world would you give Disney a pass for what they did with their recent movies? Remember with the Black Panther, what Disney did? They took because Chinese. If you guys didn't know, I'm gonna tell you a secret. The Chinese aren't very fond of black people. They really aren't. So much so that when Black Panther came out, the main character, who was obviously black, they covered his face and made him a lot smaller. They covered his face with the mask and they made him a lot smaller in the poster for the movie because Chinese people would not have went if they didn't do that. Now, why is Disney okay with that? But then over here, they have no problem pushing the LGBTQ stuff down your throat until you throw it up. They have no problem pushing that stuff on us, acting as if this is just what we stand for. But then when they go over to China, where they got like billions of more people than us, now Disney's like, we're gonna, because remember, Disney owns Marvel. So everything that Marvel does goes through Disney.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So don't be fooled and act as if the Chinese are just controlling everything and that Disney has no say. Disney can say, no, we're not selling this game over there, but they ain't gonna say no to that money. They is not gonna say no.
No, they're not at all. No way.
Them Chinese dollars mean just as much as the money over here. Do not be fooled. They are saying yes to the money. If China said stop that woke stuff, they would stop that woke stuff. You know how I know that? Is because they even took that gay scene out that they did in the Buzz Lightyear movie. They had they had two females kissing in the Buzz Lightyear movie. In America, totally fine. They had that scene in here. But when they took that to China, they cut that scene out. Because China don't play that gay stuff.
No, they don't.
China don't play that. So they cut that out, and goes to show you that they're trying to change us because we don't stand up for truth. But when China stand up for what they believe and they get their money behind it, China is not going to take the stuff that we take because they got evil Chinese dictatorships that control their own people.
We got a comment here.
Okay.
How do you think Donald Trump would react if people started associating him with an unflattering cartoon character?
I think that actually happens right now.
It does too.
Yeah, like people are not necessarily associating him with a evil cartoon character, to be specific. Like, say if they associate him with Goofy or some other Disney character. I don't think that's going on, but I've seen so many depictions of Donald Trump in a negative light in cartoon form. All you got to do is go on X and hashtag Trump cartoon. You'll see thousands, if not millions of them.
I think South Park did something.
I didn't see the episode yet, but I'm sure it's probably funny.
But yeah, they did something, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Trump would. I think he would. His pride would be hurt, but I don't think he would act at all like the CCP does. No. He wouldn't be rounding people up and arresting them and stopping them from saying it.
You're not getting any knocks at the door.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think Trump is very egotistical. I still like him, but I think he's egotistical, but I don't think he's that egotistical now. You know, maybe some people in his camp might be. I don't know.
So we have gotten some a really good bunch of comments going on. We had a little discussion going on here, so I'm gonna go through some of these.
Go through some of them.
So we had after people talking about all the Harry Potter stuff and that,
Harry Potter.
We also had going back a topic or two here. Jack thinks Jeremiah is one of the minor prophets. Now, my reaction was the same. However, this is kind of a surprise comment because this person clarified themselves.
Okay.
Andy Moore here using my wife's account. So that previous comment came from someone else, from a guest on the show who took over his wife's account, because I was looking through the chat and going, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this could be, oh, wait a minute. But then, okay. And everything was funny. Yeah. And then there's a case of some folks were talking to each other into the chat while we're talking, which was just great. there was a hey brother comment, so people were so we had this really cool chat going on inside the
Anything
comment section.
important?
Well, we're talking about this topic is both hilarious and unbelievably petty at the same time. And then, here we go. YouTube censorship is a little iffy too, but not nearly as bad as China yet.
Yeah. And to correct myself, Jeremiah is not a minor prophet. He's a major prophet. So I do have to correct that.
Mhm.
That was a misspoke
Yep.
on my part.
Yep.
Yes. And the difference between the minor prophets and the major prophets is the refers to the length of the biblical books and the scope of their content. So yeah, I
Yep.
don't want to push anybody the
Right.
wrong way. You're actually right. How long until Marvel? Right? What is he saying?
So
How long-
Marvel writes that the X-Men Nightcrawler character deconstructs his faith. Marvel is so trash and has been for 10 years.
Yes, in fact, Nightcrawler was one of my. I was telling my kids about it the other day. Nightcrawler is one of my favorite characters because he was a Catholic, he was a Christian, so he had one of the coolest like looking costumes, and he was a cool character, man. I liked him. He led Wolverine to Christ.
Here we go.
Family Guy and The Simpsons both have unflattering depictions of Trump.
Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think The
Trump
Simpsons
is easy
yeah.
to make fun of because
Yeah,
he has a cadence in the way he talks, and he's very.
yeah, it's
He's a
easy.
character. He just is. So
right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. When someone is larger than life,
Yeah.
it's so easy to make that caricature of that person. Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
he is an easy
Right,
person to
mhm.
make fun of.
And to get back to your point, someone commented, I don't think he'd care much.
Nah, I don't think
No,
he would.
no,
I don't
I
think
just-
it will bother him.
I
that
think
much.
it's more so the people around him that make a
Mhm.
big deal of these things.
Yeah, I don't think people think Trump is so egotistical, but I don't think he's as egotistical as people think because for one, if you look in Trump's past, he made jokes of himself all the time. He did
Right,
it on
right,
like
mhm,
Home Alone. He
Yeah,
did it
right,
on he went
exactly.
on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and made fun of himself. He did it when he went on wrestling, WWE, and jumped
That's
in
right.
wrestling.
Mhm.
He's
Mhm.
just a funny guy. Like he can take a joke. What I don't like is that I don't think other politicians do that. In fact, I would say Trump need to tone that down and not take so many jokes because he becomes a little less presidential when you see him goofing around too much. Like even when he did the thing on not TikTok, where was it? On X, when he said we should take over Canada, people were like, "Oh!" He was making a joke, but I would say this. Even though it was a joke, it wasn't presidential for him to talk about invading another country, and that's what people were getting him on. I think Trump could be a little more presidential, but I think that he makes a tad bit. He jokes around a little bit too much, in my opinion.
OMG in American Sign Language, even the sign for Trump is mocking. Oh boy.
So, all right,
All right.
we got some other stuff
Yep.
here.
We got to get back on the rails here.
Did we cover everything with that?
I think we did.
Okay. So the next
we
thing
did.
is fascism.
Oh yeah.
Fascism. People say, who watch anime out there? We know y'all like anime because I like anime. And one of my favorite anime is an anime called Attack on Titan. And it's a really good anime that just a quick version of it. You know what? Can we pull up some of the video of that, Mr.
Yeah,
Producer?
Sure.
And then we'll go over next on the definition of fascism.
Yeah.
The reason why I like Attack on Titan is it's a very mature anime where these people live in this city that are being attacked by these giants. And these giants that they call Titans, they're really hard to kill. You can only kill them by using this flying suit that flies around to the back of their neck, and you got to slice through the back of the neck. And the reason why I really like this anime is because the story building, the plot, and like the pacing is really, really good. And not only that, but the maturity and the fear, when these Titans come, how the people are so scared of what's going on, and you feel the fear of the characters. Look at the violence going on.
Yeah,
But you feel the fear that the characters felt.
it's beautiful though.
And it's really such a cool anime. I don't want to spoil it because I think if you have any of anime, you should go watch it. It's really good. Really good. It's in my top, I would say it's in my top 5. It's in my top 5. Attack on Titan is in my top 5. And that's hard to get in there. Really hard. So, people have gotten a hold of Attack on Titan, and just like most popular anime has gotten a fan base. People have really been dissecting it. They've been watching all the episodes. You know how these nerds do. They get a hold of something and they don't let go, right? And they start dissecting it, talking about what it means and what philosophies going into the show and this and this and that. Well, the liberals got hold of Attack on Titan, and they have discerned that this anime, this Japanese cartoon, is pushing fascism. It's fascist. Well, most people don't even know what fascism is. They just use it because they heard a liberal professor use it, or they just like calling Donald Trump that. And it's funny how some of these liberals have no problem with communism, but they have a problem with fascism, and they don't even know the difference. Let's talk about what fascism is. Do we have that, Mr. Producer?
Yes.
Well, we can pull up the definition, so we
Yep.
talking
Sorry.
about the right thing here. I think I texted to you. That's the one I
Oh,
texted.
yeah. You know, I'm all discombobulated.
Oh, no.
Just give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves.
I might be able to pull it up,
Yeah.
and then I'll read
Yeah. I don't have that one.
here. Yeah, that's fine. I'll read it. So, what is
Oh, I found it.
fascism? Oh,
I
you got
found
it? You
I
can
found
pull it up.
Yeah, I found it.
If you want, I can read it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I found it here. Just gotta.
Have you ever heard people call somebody a fascist? They call Trump a fascist all the time. And I bet about 2% of the people who have ever said the word actually knows what fascism actually is.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Okay.
What is fascism? Fascism is a far-right authoritarian political ideology and movement characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, strong nationalism, militarism, and the subordination of individual rights to the interests of the nation or race. It involves centralized autocracy with a charismatic leader, aggressive nationalism often coupled with racism, regimented society and economy, and hostility to democracy, liberalism, socialism, and communism. Fascism also tends to glorify violence, promote mass mobilization, and reject political pluralism.
The reason why liberals love fascism so much is because it just has all their little bite-sized right-wing words in it. That's it. They don't even know the difference between fascism and any other type of dictatorship. They don't even know the difference between communism, fascism, or socialism. Most people don't even know. So this idea, they just like it because they can say, Trump is a fascist. He's a charismatic leader that
Right.
pushes people to do things that he wants them to do.
Right.
He's a fascist. And I think they like the word because it sounds like fashion, and a lot of them are gay. Fascism is not anything special, dude. So,
Yeah.
like, go ahead. You were
Yeah,
going to
and
read something?
yes, I was going to say, I was going to finish this here.
Yeah.
Historically, fascism first emerged in early 20th century Europe, most notably under Mussolini in Italy and Hitler in Germany. It aims for a rebirth of the nation through radical nationalism and outlaws opposition by force. Now, the key features for those who are confused about it, it includes a dictator with total power,
Yes.
suppression of dissent and opposition by violence or force, extreme nationalism and often racial superiority, militarism and glorification of violence, central control over society and the economy, corporatism, and mass mobilization of citizens in support of the state. And it's in opposition to democratic governance and civil liberties. That's what fascism
Here's the thing.
is.
And liberals are so stupid that they won't understand that many other aspects in a communist government can also be fascist. So they think that fascism is so evil because that's something specific to Donald Trump, not realizing plenty countries have fascism. They might not be your form of fascism, but if according to this criteria, there's plenty of communists, but liberals love communism. They have no problem with it.
Until they don't.
Yes, until it ain't in their favor.
Mhm.
Communism that's not in their favor is fascism. But communism that is in their favor is socialism. So these people don't even know the difference. So it's like you. Anyways, so to get back to our topic, the Attack on Titan has been said to be fascist propaganda. Let's read some of this article here. I'm making Mr. Producer work today, by the way.
Wow. This scheme is, wow. Okay, so the fascist subtext of Attack on Titan can't go over.
It can't be overlooked. We have to.
Right.
We have to look into it. This cartoon that people like, we can't let it stand.
We can't.
What do they say?
Oh, they say the good, the bad, and the very, very bad. Despite being wowed by Studio WIT's dynamic visuals and that undeniably badass first opening theme song,
Oh,
I could never get into Attack on Titan. But having read the entire manga, I acknowledge, oh boy, Isayama has some strengths. For one thing, his pencils are filled with pure energy, and his inks are very good at capturing the pure horror that envelops the characters time and time again.
his art got better over time.
For another, the tension successfully generated before each big plot twist is enviable. All these elements are only emboldened in Kodansha Comics' English language release with Co-Ransom and Sheldon Druska's nuanced translations and a legendary Steve Wan's potent lettering. But well-dressed aesthetics and pacing can only do so much before you start to notice the ideas bubbling underneath the surface.
Uh-oh.
Isayama's work is full of anti-Korean, nationalist, pro-Japan subtext, parallels to anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and subtextual references to Nazi Germany.
Oh no!
For one thing, there's the so-called pure Titans. That is, the random Titans that menace our characters throughout the series.
Okay.
Creepily smelling cannibals. These pure Titans
are mindless, not even needing to eat to live so much as for fun. Many of them have grotesque or exaggerated features, from short arms to giant heads to large noses.
Oh my gosh, who else has large noses?
And then there's the Eldians living in ghettos, wearing star-embroidered armbands.
Huh. He could be trying to say stuff.
Put simply, this stuff is on people's minds and the signs are relatively easy to spot. As for why the outrage seems to occur in cycles, well, like any popular Japanese property, there's always the crowd who reads the manga first, and then the anime-only crowd. Given anime's long production time, and Titan's arduous cycle in particular, with a 4-year gap between the first and second seasons, conversations about its themes are bound to take some time to resurface. Combine that with Titan's staggered release across Crunchyroll, Funimation Now, then DVD, then later Adult Swim, and this is a cycle that will keep happening.
Ugh.
Now, no one can clearly say what Isayama's true intentions are except for him, but it's hard to ignore the underpinnings of dystopian fiction when it stares you in the face. It looms over you like the colossal Titan, serving as a reminder that even in fiction, maybe especially in fiction, we have a responsibility as consumers to fully engage with what a story might be trying to say, and to consider whether that's a message we want to hear.
Oh no! And here's my take on this. Because we didn't read the entire article, but we read enough to know that this man believes Attack on Titan is giving fascist propaganda. Now, instead of saying whether it does or doesn't, the more important point I think needs to be made is, who cares? If it's a good story, you shouldn't have to... Now I'm about to go on a rant. The reason why liberals have such a problem is because they've lost the art of subtlety when it comes to propaganda. If they were better with their propaganda, no one would care that they're taking over Hollywood with the woke stuff. If they told good stories, no one would care if they were trying to put an agenda in it. Agendas have been in everything since the creation of art. The problem is liberals have no subtlety anymore. They have to preach at you. They have to say, oh, you know what? We're going to put 10 gay people in a sex scene. And if you don't like it, you're a bigot. Don't come watch my movie. Wait a second, our movie sold $0? Everyone's a bigot. Here's the problem. Y'all have lost the art of the Japanese. What they do with their stories is they know how to tell a really good, compelling story with compelling characters. Now, guess what? If you really think about it, in Attack on Titan, it may have been some undertones that were promoted by what happened to the Japanese in the past and where they stood in World War II. There may have been some undertones of that. I'm not denying that. But when you do things with subtlety and you tell a good story, it really doesn't matter. And here's the problem. There's other good movies that have undertones to them as well, but you wouldn't even notice because they're not preaching at you like the woke nonsense being put out now. Who remembers District 9 in 2009? On the surface, it's a sci-fi alien story. It's an allegory about apartheid, xenophobia, and systematic segregation in South Africa, symbolizing how marginalized groups are dehumanized. But guess what? Nobody cares because it's a good story. Now, if you wanted to dig into it, you would see that. And I kind of saw some hints of that, like they're comparing the aliens to, different groups of people and stuff like that in District 9. That movie was very good, though. So it's like, yeah, if you're trying to teach me something through subtlety, I'm willing to listen. But if you're trying to teach me something by bashing me over the head with gay sex scenes, I no longer am interested. Your story sucks and your characters suck. Starship Troopers in 1997. Paul Verhoeven? Is that how you pronounce it? Verhoeven?
I think it's Paul Verhoeven, yeah.
Starship Troopers. Everybody knows of this movie. He intentionally made this look like a gun-ho war film, satirizing fascist propaganda. Many viewers took it literally instead of seeing the critique of nationalism and militarism. So what he did was he was taking Starship Troopers and he was trying to make fun of military propaganda. But guess what? It was a very entertaining movie and people ran with it. He didn't bash you over the head and act like everybody he thought was bad was also a bad guy, like they do now. Every white man is evil. Every gay person is good. Every gay love story is like the most pure love you could ever find is a man and a man. Well, woman and a woman, because that's even better than them. That's what they do now. They bash you over the head. Attack on Titan didn't bash you over the head with the propaganda. You actually have to dig into it and see that. And that's how a story is supposed to be told. So I could care less if it was propaganda. It was good. It was entertaining. The characters were great. RoboCop, 1987. Beyond the violent cybercop action, it is a deeply satirical take on corporatism, capitalism runaway, and the Reagan-era policing, even threading in religious imagery reminiscent of a crucifixion. So even RoboCop, people love RoboCop, but it was making a commentary on what was going on in that day. I have no problem with you making a commentary with your story. I do have a problem if all your story is a commentary. Do you get the difference? If all your story is basically you using the characters to be a satirical way to bash people you don't like in this overblown, preachy way of talking, which is what every movie is nowadays. And guess what? In the best movies, which one of my favorites is coming up next. In the best movies, even the bad guys have a point. Even the bad guys are likable to a certain extent. Even the bad guys, you look and you say, hey, that bad guy, he's kind of cool. Or these aliens, they're not just drawn in just so people can destroy them. They actually have a point, or they actually have a purpose. Or I kind of see the evil side point of view as well. But you can't see that in anything today because these liberals, they're so small-minded, they can't even steel man the other person's position. They have to make them a bad guy. and a sloppy bad guy at that. Why is he evil? Because he likes to be evil. He just likes to kill gay people. That's his whole point in life. As soon as he was born with a gun and he started hunting the gays. It's like, dude, who wants to watch that goofy propaganda? Here's the next one of my favorite movies of all time, The Matrix. At face value, a cyberpunk action film, but its layered allegory, surveillance, simulated realities, awaken and resistance, free will versus control, and more recently interpreted as a transgender narrative. So a lot of the creators of the Matrix have came out and they said this, that the Matrix is like comparatively a transgender's narrative. Now, you would never know that. So I don't really care if it is or not because the story is very good. Now, some transgender group might get back together and say, this movie is representing us. And guess what? They might be right. But I would say it's a good movie with good characters and it's not being so pushy and preachy. So I don't care if the creators, if that was their goal, they weren't so pushy with it that it was beating you over the head with their agenda. So therefore, it was a good movie. And some of you guys have so little taste in art that you can't fathom that somebody don't agree with you. If you make a movie, right? It's not the fact that a gay dude is in a movie that makes a movie bad. You can have a gay character and write him realistically, and it can actually be pretty good. The Wire is an example of that. What my problem is not that the character is somebody I disagree with. It's that everything that goes against the Christian narrative, everything that goes against the Christian ethic is promoted as good, and the Christian narrative is never, ever promoted as good. Ever. Never do you see a Christian couple that's together, happily married, that are the good guys. Show me a movie in the last 5 years where a Christian couple is happily married and their ethics are looked at as good and they're not kooky, crazy people that have these outlandish beliefs. Show me one. And that's an agenda. They're preaching at you. They're saying, if you don't believe the way we believe, you're the bad guy in the movie. Every religious person is looked at as a religious kook, crazy. Every atheist person is rational and thinking straight. Every gay person has pure, unadulterated love. It's nonsense. And because y'all lost subtlety, nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wants to be preached at unless they listen to The Razor's Edge. Then they love it. People don't want to be beat over the head with their beliefs. So will you have anything on that, Mr. Producer?
No, that's pretty strong. Well, I was just thinking about like the original Star Wars,
Yeah.
how it's a great story. You can pull anything that you want to out of it, but it was basically, supposedly now this came out after the Vietnam War, so it was an allegory for that.
Yep.
But the story is so good and it's almost timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And if a story is well crafted and well written and well acted, so
Yep.
be it. It's a great story. It's great entertainment.
Not only that, but there's, for some of the Christian ones, C.S. Lewis wrote The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit stronger than I would like. And then you have Tolkien, who wrote the Lord of the Rings series,
Right.
The Hobbit.
Mhm.
All these stories
all that.
were allegories for Christianity and with Christian themes and Christian ethics weaved all the way through.
Right, all the way through. Right.
But you don't necessarily get beat over the head with
No.
it because he's creating a world. And when you think about the world, you say, oh, okay, this character's whole point was this, or his purpose and what he's trying to portray is this life lesson. You don't have to sit there, and Frodo doesn't have to turn and say, and believe in Jesus.
Right.
Because if you don't, the ring is an allegory for sin and it's going to take over your life. You know how to believe in God and give a message at the end. That's that's not good writing.
No, it's not.
Liberals do it all the time, though.
Right.
They
Mhm.
will have they will have a they're doing it with video games now. They will have a character who's straight up transphobic and say some transphobic stuff and then immediately get killed for saying it. And they're trying
Right.
to teach you shouldn't be like that. Look at what happened to him. Like, come on, man. Nobody likes to get preached at like that. That's why y'all games suck.
Mm-hmm.
Why your movies suck.
Mm-hmm.
Let people learn. Give my
Right.
brother, when he was teaching me more about writing, he was like, give the audience some credit. Let them learn and let them assume that they're intelligent.
Right.
Assume that
Right.
if you have
Right.
a subtle theme, they're not going to miss it. And even if some do miss it, the ones who don't, they will feel even more fulfilled because they dug to find out your true purpose. The film critics, those who are actually going to sift through your film and make the connections you wanted them to make, they will be more fulfilled because of it. But if you just bash people over the head by making an all-girl cast because you're trying to push feminism, that crap is gay.
Yeah.
Nobody want to see that movie. You know, so I don't know. I get passionate about that movie
Right.
stuff because I'm like, dude, one day I'm gonna be up there making something, and I'm just not gonna do what they're doing.
Right. Because you want that. You don't want to shove something in that doesn't need to be put in there.
Yeah.
If it doesn't serve the story, then why is it there?
Yeah, if you're just trying to
Yeah.
preach, then just preach.
Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do
Go
it.
in your little corner and get on your soapbox and preach.
Yeah.
Don't take millions and millions of dollars and make a movie that nobody wants to see or ruin a other franchise.
Right.
I hate when they do that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You want to take Terminator after the greatness of Terminator 1 and 2 and make it into a feminist lesbian film? Get out of here. Make your own
Right.
stupid garbage.
Right. Mhm. Yeah. Don't piggyback on the work of others. Just
these
be
people, man.
original.
I can't. I would turn in my grave if I found out characters I made, somebody took it and repurposed it. Ugh. Disgusting.
Like a Winnie the Pooh.
Right. Like Winnie the Pooh,
Oh, Baba.
now leader of the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh man.
So the next one, Steam.
Oh yeah. Oh
Steam.
yeah.
Who knows what Steam is? Who play video games? I'm a PC gamer. PC is far superior. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings if you got a console. PC is far superior, and Steam is one of, if not the largest platforms that you can buy video games from, and it goes directly to your computer. You download them, and one of the cool things about PC gaming is it's so much cheaper, man.
It's way
If
cheaper.
you sit
Yeah.
up here and you buying these $60, $70, $80 games, and on PC you basically buy the code to unlock the game, and then you download it.
Mhm.
And what people do is they have all types of sites where you can buy a game at half price, because people are like, dude, we made so many codes that now we have to resell them and gain profit, and they're not really losing anything when it comes to, physical property anymore. You're not going and buying a CD. You're just downloading the material and putting it directly to your computer. So you can sell all types of CD keys, and that's what Steam does. Just to give you
Yeah. Mhm.
a background on Steam. Do we have the first clip on that?
Yeah. Well, we don't have a clip on Steam, but I've got some articles. on
Yeah,
Steam.
my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
it's not a video.
Yeah, so Steam is cracking down. So they're taking down, according to this, says Steam takes down tons of porn games, cracks down on certain kinds of adult-only content. Here's why and its new policy. So many porn games have been delisted from Steam after a new rule recently went into effect.
Okay.
Over the last few days, Steam, the leading PC gaming storefront managed by game developer and publisher Valve, has been delisting numerous pornographic titles from its online store. At the same time, the company made a significant policy change to its game publishing guidelines. Valve hasn't given an official reason for the removal of these games, though it's highly likely it's because of the new rule.
Okay. So all types of games is being deleted because they have adult material in them. Do we have any other clips? on that?
Yeah. So and that talks
I mean,
about how
other f-
yeah.
yeah.
Just this here. Steam has added a new rule disallowing gaming that violate the rules and standards set forth by payment processors and card networks or internet network providers. So it's becoming it's a follow the money thing.
Yeah.
When the payment processors stop, you can't do anything. Steam's new rule has sparked controversy of its own, though, with many pointing out that it's frustratingly vague and doesn't highlight the specific types of adult content that aren't permissible on the platform. Lots of users also argue that the recently heightened pressure from payment processors is a clear case of invasive censorship, and that these companies shouldn't be able to control what the companies they work with can and cannot sell.
Okay.
Here we go. I don't even buy these games, but this censorship is bull. These payment processors should be required to be neutral by law. Their job is to process money full stop, not to be policing what the companies they work with sell, wrote one PC Master Race commenter on Reddit.
Okay.
Reddit of all places.
Hmm.
Reddit
All good
strikes
people
again.
there.
Yes, Reddit strikes again. It's the quiet normalization of financial censorship, and it's going to hurt LGBTQ plus games and devs,
Oh,
said another user on Blue Sky, asserting that this could become a slippery slope.
Blue Sky is like the gay version of X.
Yeah, that will disproportionately affect LGBTQ plus. Gosh, this whole alphabet. Queer content gets flagged as explicit even when it's PG. A trans dev making a personal story, too controversial. A surreal queen visual novel, sexualized. Financial deplatforming in action. So the author goes on to say, personally, while I'm certainly not going to shed any tears over the loss of Sister X slaves or Cuckold Princess. Oh man, that's the name. That's the name of our podcast right there, man.
Cuckold Princess.
Yes, that's the episode title. I do agree with users and devs that hazy game removals like these can be seen as a worrying sign of a domino effect. At the very least, these rules need to be defined far more clearly. I hope Valve updates them with clarification sooner rather than later.
And here's what I have to say on this, because it's more of a nuanced take. And that is, I'm happy that gooners and degens don't get to goon and degen. And what I mean by that is, I'm all for adult material being taken away. I'm all for video games not being about straight up adult fantasies. I think, dude, like, do you guys got to bring that stuff into everything? You can't even scroll, mature section in video games without some gooner material. Like, dude, take your little horny butt somewhere else, man. Everybody ain't about that. Everybody ain't like trying to see the most sexiest thing at all times. Dude, like, some of us have wives. We have healthy sex lives. We don't need video games for that, you weirdo. Basement dwelling weirdos gotta touch themselves every time they see a girl with some scantily clad outfit on. Some of y'all is just weirdos, dude. Like, then on the other end of that, it's like, it does fill me with a little bit of uncertainty when you understand that the tide can turn against you. Because what's happening is these payment processors can just as easily say, we don't want Christian material. Can just as easily say, we don't want to push anything that conservatives agree with or Christians agree with. They can just as easily say, you know what, this stuff is too patriotic. We don't want that video game, so we're going to defund that. And so I'm not so naive to believe that everything will always be on my side. In fact, you can see, just looking at short history, history that's been more recently, how they can do that to pretty much anything that they don't agree with on the flavor of the day. They can say, oh, you talked about COVID misinformation. Shut you down. No more video games about, no video games making fun of Biden. They can do all types of things where it's like their flavor of the week can be what they issue to you as a decree for you to live by. I don't have any problem with them doing that with pornographic material. I do have a problem when it does go the other way, And it's like, yo, man, you got to understand that these organizations, sometimes they might seem like they're doing the moral thing, that can suddenly switch and be against you. So you got to, as a person with some morals and some leadership, you got to kind of be aware of that. That you, just because it's on your side now, don't mean it will be on your side in the future. And I have to say this again because it's my most important point. If this bothers you because you want to touch yourself to video games, you just a loser, man.
Yeah.
That's what your life is about. I can't wait to play Sexy Girl 2000. Like, what? You ain't got nothing better to do? Wipe the Cheetos off of yourself, get out your mom's basement, and do something with your life, man. If this really bothers you that they taking away adult material from a video game store, that's not even loser material. I don't even know what a word would be for that. You're beyond the loser. Like, it reminds me of them dudes who be buying OnlyFans and get an OnlyFans subscription. You bought a subscription to a girl that's not even real? Are you inept? Is something wrong with your brain? These girls don't care about you?
What's your major malfunction? I
Yeah,
mean, really,
like-
really, what's wrong?
What is wrong with some of these lames, man? No wonder testosterone is dropping. No wonder these girls think we so lame. Because dudes is over here complaining about their little gooner games being taken away. Go find a real girl, you loser. You big ugly loser in your mom's basement. You stink. Wash yourself. Wash your butt. This is not even like up for debate. This this type of stuff is
It's
somebody
not.
got to say it.
It has to be
Somebody
said.
got to say it to these people. You over here gooning over a video game and then be butthurt crying, oh, they took away my porn game. Come on, dude.
That's the bridge too far for them. That's
That's where we,
right.
this is where we stop.
Yes.
Hold the
That's it.
line,
That's
man.
it.
Hold the
That's
line.
it.
Come on, dude. I can't stand dudes that be that much of a loser. Like, and the funny thing is, they'll be all up in arms about it and sit in their basement and do absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
You ain't gonna do nothing. Like, shut your butt up. If anybody's gonna do anything, it'll be a man like me. And not over that, because I know what's worth fighting for. You don't. Anyways, to the next topic. Oh, this one is a topic we'll be talking about
Yeah.
forevermore because this is a topic I hate.
It's
Oh, here we go. You might as well bring up that picture.
all right. Do we have to?
We have to because it's no other way for you to absorb the gayness
All right.
without seeing why.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at how he. Oh my gosh! Just take a second and look at him. Look at his face. Is that not the gayest face you've ever seen? That's it. Dude, look at him. You should never be filled with that much glee as a man.
No.
Look, his cape is flapping. And it's flapping not because the wind is blowing. It's flapping because it just won't be straight. It refuses to be straight. And that's how gay they have made Superman. But anyway, so this topic is about Superman if you didn't know. Let's bring up the first thing. Superman has just come out with this movie, Superman Part 88 or whatever they call it. And the movie, the creator of the movie had something to say about Superman.
Yep.
And I have something to say about Superman, but we're going to read his article first.
So Superman is a socialist. What the right gets wrong about Superman's origins.
We've got it wrong, y'all.
In a recent interview with The Times, Superman director James Gunn said that his new blockbuster tells the story of an immigrant. He also explained it was a story about basic human kindness. But that first comment, about Superman's foreign origins is the one that set off some pundits on the right.
Oh no, nobody cares.
Fox News commentator Jesse Waters joked on air, "You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
Oh, what
Whoa.
a great joke.
Ben Shapiro blasted Gunn and the Hollywood left for being out of touch with everyday American audiences. The reality that Hollywood is so far to the left that they cannot take a core piece of Americana and just say it's about America." But Grant Morrison, author of the seminal comic book series All Star Superman, said the conservative backlash ignores the leftist origins of the world's most famous superhero.
Oh,
Not only was Superman created by the sons of Jewish immigrants, but those very first comics portrayed their character as a socialist figure.
oh my gosh. These people love rewriting history.
Totally.
So you see here, they're talking about Superman and his origins, and they're trying to act as if Superman has some super left-wing socialist origins. What in the world is wrong with you people? Superman was created in America for Americans. That's why, if you look, his outfit is red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
So Superman was created, and I forgot the exact year he was created, but he was created to be an example for little kids how to do the right thing. And if you watch the earliest Superman cartoons, you'll see that he can jump higher than the tallest building. He didn't even fly at first. He could just jump really, really tall.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
And so Superman has evolved over the years because kids really looked up to him, so they wanted to see him in his adventures, and he would go on these adventures and save people and stop trains from running over people and all types of stuff. Then he evolved even more, where they gave him a backstory and a love interest like Lois and all types of stuff like that. So, all that to say, Superman was never created to be a character that a story was based off of. He was created to be like a folklore hero that kids can look up to. Superman, you see him doing the right thing. Superman will stop what he's doing to help an old lady cross the street. That type of thing. But he wasn't created so that you could have a 10-part series or movies on him. And the reason why I hate Superman so much now is because he's such an unrealistic, lame character. They done made Superman. I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to go through why Superman is so lame and why I hate him so much. Superman now has no limits to what he can do. Now, people are going to say, Superman is weak to magic and Superman is weak to kryptonite. Superman is not weak to anything, dude. Have you read the stuff that he has done in the past? Superman has no bounds. This is why I hate him as a character. Who want to read about somebody who just can do whatever? He's just flying through the universe doing whatever he want to do. Nobody can stop him. And here's the other thing. Superman is unrealistic, not because he can shoot lasers from his eyes. It's because if anybody had the powers that Superman had, they would definitely be evil. Without a doubt. No one can stop this man. Let's read what Superman has done in the past. Mm-hmm. Superman, number 1, he has shattered reality and the multiverse with a punch. In Justice League number 25, in 2019, Superman charges through the cosmos at light speed, attains an infinite mass punch, and obliterates the world. It's the World Forger's 20 billion-year-old fake multiverse, breaking reality across dimensions. He has a punch that broke reality. That's super lame, dude. Like, how you supposed to fight a dude who can do stuff like that? They just keep making him stronger, so he has nothing that can stop him. This is what else he did. Number 2, Superman lifted infinity with Shazam. In Final Crisis, Superman Beyond, number 1, Superman and Shazam lift the Book of Eternity, which has infinite pages. Half infinity is still infinity, showing Superman handles infinite weight with ease. How are you supposed to fight or what? And they made him gay? What? So Superman can lift infinity? That's just lame. That's bad writing. That's terrible.
That's something that you hear when you're a kid growing up.
Yeah.
I got power to infinity.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks. So
My
like,
dad can
game's
lift
over.
20
Right.
books. My
Yeah.
dad can lift 50 books.
Yep.
Superman can lift infinity book.
Oh, that's
Who wrote that
yeah.
and thought it was cool? Somebody thought it was cool.
Somebody did.
This is what he did. Number 3, bench pressing the Earth's mass for days. During the New 52, Superman bench pressed the equivalent of the Earth's entire mass for 5 days straight in an attempt to outpower Hellspont. And he didn't even need a break. So
He didn't need a break.
he bench pressed a planet? Y'all just telling me Goku was crazy and this dude is bench pressing planets? How is this good writing? Number 4, he pushed planets and dragged galaxies. He dragged an entire planet not just one. He dragged entire planets chained together, pushed the moon, and even dragged a galaxy. All feats that realistically defy any physics. So he's just flying around the galaxy pulling planets.
It defies good writing.
How in the world are you supposed to write a story about some dude like? I'm gonna get to my final point in a second too, but here's number 5. Containing a black hole in one hand. In Justice League America number 77, Superman casually holds a mini black hole in his palm. A gravitational singularity with a mass beyond comprehension, and disposes of it in space. He just taking out black holes like you take out the trash. This is what Superman can do. Number 6, surviving the source wall. He tanked the explosion of the source wall, the boundary of the DC universe, survived, and even pulled Darkseid's staff out of it, battling cosmic powers beyond gods. He just do whatever you want to do. Superman, they basically making as God number 2. Flying faster than infinity. That's number 7. Superman has flown so fast that he broke the bounds of infinity, zipping across universes at such speed that interdimensional barriers shattered. How can you fly? Who is writing this? Dude, who thinks Superman is a good character? He just flew faster than fast. He flew faster than your mind can conceive. We had this like gospel song where it say, he's more wonderful than your mind can conceive. He's more amazing. That's Superman? All this time I didn't know we was singing about Superman.
No idea.
He can fly faster than infinity. That's faster than God can create. He's flown past it. Before the material there even is to exist, Superman flies faster and is somehow out of time, space, and the cosmos. What can he not do? Number 8, surviving exploding star system and supernovas. Tanked destructive blasts from Sun Eater's creatures. Survived explosions equal to a dozen of supernovas. And still walked away with barely a bruise. How is this possible? And you know who else need to get credit? Superman's suit. How is his suit? Even if he is surviving it.
How does that survive?
Who tailored his stuff?
Right.
Does any of this make sense? So
No.
he still be having a cape on and underpants? Is he just so strong that I can't fathom how anybody could be that strong?
No, doesn't it just defies logic.
And that's the problem. It defies logic. Number 9, absorbing supernova level anti-sunlight. Superman absorbed enough anti-sunlight that by itself would have vaporized half the galaxy and was basically unfazed. Number 10. Outlasts entropy and reshaping reality. He's outrun the universe heat death, tweaked reality by sheer will, even sneezed away a solar system, or recreated Krypton with life, essentially operating at godlike levels. What can this man not do? And people be telling me, oh man, you just got to give Superman a chance. Superman is the lamest written character ever, man. So we just supposed to accept that this dude can do anything?
Can he pay his bills?
And you know what he can't do? This goes to show you how bad the writers are. All that and he still can't get a girlfriend. All space Mr. Producer choke on his water. All that.
I'm okay now.
And he still can't deal with Lois Lane.
Right.
All that. And here's the other thing. Don't get me started. What man with his right mind would not accept celebrity status and not have his life be easy for the rest of his life? So he's hiding. He's working a regular job. He could be taking that time, saving the universe 100% of the time and not be working at a news place. He chose to waste his time to impress Lois Lane, some mid chick. What is he doing? And then Lois Lane don't even like him. She likes Superman. Why would he not just say, I'm Superman? Any woman would love to have me. He's too dumb to do that, but he's strong enough to carry a solar system? Who is writing this crap? Nobody wants to be like that. This loser over here putting glasses on like, you just not, wait a second. I'm Jack. Now I'm Super Jack. You don't know who I am. Like, how do they not know it's him?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah.
How do they not? Because you put, do you not know it's me anymore? Who is that dumb? Mr. Producer probably like, where did he go? It was a different guy here a second ago.
Where did he go?
Like, who's writing this crap? This is terrible writing skills. Terrible. Everybody in DC sucks. I'ma say it. Marvel is far superior when it comes to story. DC sucks other than Batman. Aquaman is super gay. All he does is have little things fly around and do his bidding.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He got like whales and sea starfish attacking people. Get that lame crap out of here. Then you got Wonder Woman who got a whip and then got some like bracelets or something. Come on. That's the lamest power ever. And honestly, what DC does is a flaw that they have in writing. They always try to one-up the next superhero by saying, oh, well, the reason why Batman is so cool because he can outthink Superman if he had time. Shut up. If Superman was real, he can travel past the bounds of infinity. He can go and see he could just zap Batman once with his eyes.
It's game over.
And he would slice his head off with his lasers. There would be nothing Batman could do. He wouldn't be fast enough to react. It don't matter how smart he was. Do you understand like how badly written this is? I'm trying to think of everybody else in DC. Green Lantern, who can just create stuff. He can create whatever his mind can imagine. Do you understand the bounds of that? They're just making stuff up. Like, there's no bounds to it. At least in Japanese comic books, the characters have some type of parameters. You know, like, let's not bring in Goku and Dragon Ball Z, but let's talk about like Naruto. He had to learn how to do his powers. He had to sit back and train. Superman didn't have to train nothing. He just went out the galaxy and can breathe in space somehow, doesn't need oxygen, and he can just pull planets and lift infinity and fly throughout. This is making me angry just thinking about it. People believe and love this stuff. Superman, no wonder Superman is gay. There was nothing else he did everything else.
Yeah.
I guess he just did, the only thing he hasn't experienced is man butt. So now he want to do that. The only saving grace for Superman is they have a story that says we're trying to humanize this unhuman being. That's their only compelling storyline, is that they have to say, oh, this dude who's trying to relate to humans is now like trying his hardest to learn how to live in a regular world with his powers. But that's even unrealistic, because if you were born with these superpowers and you were basically a god on Earth, you wouldn't have to learn how to live. You would just conform the world to whatever you want it to be. Nobody could stop you. Why would you change it? All right, I'm getting too out of... This is getting too far. I hate Superman, and that's all you need to know. So, to wrap things up on the Righteous Edge, when we're not talking about how much I hate DC, I would like to say that I appreciate you guys for the subscribers. Next week, we might be talking about some things that we didn't get to this week. Like, I saw that video of the lady talking about how much she had a perfect husband, but she left him anyway. I was going to talk about that, and I might do it sometime in the middle of the week if I can. But we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Hopefully, I want you guys to do me a favor. Share that Witch Talk video. We put a lot of work into that. So if you guys could share, like, and subscribe. The Witch Talk video, I really want that to go places where it can actually help somebody, because we did a lot of research into that video so that we could present that to you guys. We're going to be doing more stuff like that. And then also, please leave a comment. What you like, what you dislike, any corrections you have. We like all the feedback we can get. Me and Mr. Producer, we try to respond to everything when we can, when we get around to it. And also, our shorts have been really good. If you don't want to send somebody the whole video, you can also send them, some of our shorts, and it'll just give them a segment or a taste of what they can see on the Righteous Edge. But that's all for the Righteous Edge today, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. We'll see you guys next time.